it is actually kind of a sad day when Harrow Prime has to become... Sorry, when normal Harrow has to become Harrow Prime. But at the same time, they do look so kind of similar, because that's the 10-gen skin I have been rocking on Harrow since the day it came out, because it just made Harrow look so much better. And this, it's not quite exactly the same, but it's close enough that it's time. It is time to equip him. He has 3 polarities, a D, a V, a dash. He can of course be found on 4 different relics. There is the Axii K6 that has the blueprint as the uncommon, the systems as the rare is on the Lith H3, the Meso G3 has the chassis as the common, and the Axii T8 holds the neuroptics as the uncommon. And you can see the Prime version has an extra 25 energy and an extra 50 shields. That's about it until you play Harrow in the Void. Then you can hit up the balls, the spheres, and get 100 power from that. Apart from that, Primes have literally just become slightly buffed versions and slightly different looking versions of the normal frames, which at this point they have been promising us changes in what the Prime frames can do for so long. I think everybody's just kind of given up on them actually doing anything about this. All I'm going to say is, due to very interesting circumstances, I no longer have Harrow Prime, but will have soon enough. Poor Harrow. Fun fact, I've already recorded the rest of this video. The rest of the start of this video, but yeah. And it has been said several times before, it is just Harrow after all. Just looks a lot better and has slight buffs over standard Harrow. Not a lot. There is basically 25 extra energy and 50 extra shields, but it's noticeable once you actually get modding and everything else. Setting him up, literally how you run him just depends on how you want to do gameplay, and I kind of have, all I'm going to say is Augur Reach, Stretch, Prime Continuity, Prime Flow. I think Augur, is it Message? Is also on there because that's duration. Obviously Augur Reach is ability range, Prime Continuity duration, Flow to increase that, and then we have Redirection, which is shields, because with the added shields and everything else, Harrow ended up with 1,840 shields. Only format him twice though. Doesn't really need the 5 format normal Harrow needs, because that's one of the perks of a Prime. It has more polarities to it. But it is... I forgot how fun Harrow was when he first turned up. That whole Covenant ability, his 4th ability that basically makes everybody immune to damage for a certain amount of time, and then that is converted into a crit chance bonus that is a lot more for headshots, works so well. Just insanely well. Yes, I'm going to go back from his 4th through to his 1st. Therible, his 3rd ability, literally just uses up all your energy and gives you the ability on kills to gain more energy. If you land headshots, this basically allows him to run infinite energy, and if you are running Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, this is kind of the ability you want to cast before you do absolutely anything else, because it basically means tons of free energy. And Penance, that would be the 2nd ability. You kind of want to be running around with that on constantly, because you sacrifice your shields to boost reload speed, fire rate, and that's where it gets kind of questionable, because it also has that weird healing bonus to it for Harrow and nearby allies. But I tend to run range more for Covenant, because Covenant doesn't just work for you, it also works for allies. Wish Therible did. Still, my only real problem with Harrow is the fact that Terrible doesn't work for allies, because Covenant works for it, that's his fourth. Terrible doesn't, third. Abilities. Penance does, but that's his second, and I love that healing bonus perk for it, so that leaves his first ability, which is Condemn. This casts a wave in front of you that basically freezes enemies in place, and each enemy you hold reinforces Harrow shields. So remember that 1800 plus shields from before? Yeah, you run around casting the first ability with this. There is a reason that the Knell and the Knell Prime are classed as Harrow's signature weapons, because obviously you use Condemn, freeze them in place, and just go tap tap, done. Headshots, which, if you happen to have Terrible on the go, more energy. And if you've already done Covenant, more damage, because more crit chance. It is crit chance. For those people who keep telling me it's not crit chance, it is literally in his description. And the description of the ability. It says, absorbs all damage and converts it to a crit chance bonus. Literally pops up in the middle of the screen saying crit chance once you have taken so much damage, and that is then converted, because once the damage prevention phase is over, it comes up and says crit chance plus whatever bonus. And to be fair, that 200% crit chance bonus on headshots, oh, there is a reason he is so good with a sniper rifle against the Eidolon. But I just have to leave you with one question. I absolutely love Harrow. Always have. The only reason I don't use him all the time is basically you cast the fourth and you can't be killed. Throw the first out in front of you and the enemy can't move. It is the Steel Path's wet dream, is old Harrow here. Hence, don't use him. Makes things just a little bit too easy. But, question to you is, was he worth the wait? Especially with all I can put as the one frame I think everybody is looking forward to just as much as they were looking forward to Nidus. I think she is well up there, and her prime's next. Or should be. I'll just put it that way because this is Digital Extreme, you never know. But with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.